Greetings everyone and welcome back to Humankind and to Manu, where we are rapidly constructing hamlets at the moment. We have recently moved into the contemporary era as the Japanese. The year is 1674 CE and the game will end in 35 turns. We have many things that we want to do before then. First and foremost, actually, we need to just swoop through and make sure that we've got trades going with everyone. So let's buy a little bit of all of these if we can afford them. Can we afford them? No, we cannot anymore. But we'll grab all of those in time. What about you? What are the trades looking like? Well, okay. I am going to need to get a lot of trading done to start bumping everything up. All cities and outposts. Let's have a look. Show unclaimed wonders. Oh my lord, I'd forgotten about these. Right, Christ the Redeemer. Plus 20 faith. We don't really need it. Plus 40 stability on all cities. Plus 10% food, money and industry and 100 fame. The Empire State Building. Plus 20% money generated from ongoing trades on all cities. And the Sydney Opera House. Plus 10% food, money, industry and science on the claiming city. We're going to go with Christ the Redeemer then. Let's grab you and hopefully we can get that going right away. Let's go ahead and see what Manu's up to. Sorry Manu, we're going to be interrupting your current build process. Where would we want to place this? Want it up nice and high, overlooking, I guess? No, we can't place it there. It can't be down on this type of terrain. Where does it need to be placed exactly? Oh, it's probably mountain specifically. Okay, well, I can totally handle that. Got some wonderful mountains over there. Look at the contemporary buildings that we have. Oh my goodness, this place looks industrial. Urban now. Eelstar, you don't have a mountain right next to you. What about Poke Dragon? No, sadly not. How about... Ah, there we are. Pepster. Sure, you can have this. There you go. It will take 5 turns for us to get that up and running. It's not really going to take that. We're going to dedicate quite a lot of our wealth and industry towards it. Right, let's go ahead and have a look at what we're going to be grabbing. Research Institute. Theory of Relativity will give us 100 fame just straight off the bat. Then we can go into Uranium Enrichment. Okay, so yeah. Naval strategy, continuous track, plus 1% money per naval trade route on all cities. All cities. We could also go for our emblematic unit straight away. We can get the colony grid, create a city with a vast package of infrastructure already built. We can go all the way down to nuclear fusion. I think we're going to go for Research Institute, simply because we can there. Then we'll grab aerial warfare. Next up, I think going for... Yeah, we'll grab uranium enrichment soon after that. I would like to make sure that we're grabbing these two following that. That gives us a couple of turns worth of science there. That should do us well. Alright, we're kind of in a position where we could immediately launch a war. Do I immediately want to launch a war, though, is the question, really. Let's move that up. That's now going to be finished in 4 turns. Let's dedicate Darth Raptor's industry towards it as well. There we are, 3 turns. Will Eelstar make an appreciable difference? No, Eelstar will not. So let's cancel that one. Eelstar isn't going to be joining in on that. We'll focus on other areas for now. Okay. But I do think it's time for our war. That being said, one more turn would allow me to upgrade this fleet and start moving it across. Am I actually going to need the fleet upgraded? Probably not, if I'm perfectly honest. Looking at the terrain, I'm probably going to want this group to head up here. They could probably take that city by themselves, whereas these two can take this city. Well, since none of them actually have movement, well, this one does, I suppose, but no, we can spend an extra turn, I think. That shouldn't be a problem.
You have unlocked
There we go.
the Research Institute.
Hooray for us!
It will not merely provide additional answers, but open up a whole range of ever more perplexing questions.
Excellent. We don't want to answer everything. How far will you push humankind? The Japanese entered the final era. Once all of the following has occurred, the empire with the most fame will be declared the victor. The game will end when one of the following conditions is reached. Conditions. Reaching the last turn, 300 turns. Earning every contemporary era star, unlocking all of the endgame technologies, eliminating all of the other empires, vassalizing all of the surviving empires, sending a mission to Mars, or rendering the world unfit for human life. It's odd to think of the last one as being a win condition, but it technically is, as long as you're in the lead with fame. Eelstar and Arthraptor have both gained population. It's very nice. New grievance available, eh?
Your empire is an enigma.
You're concerned for the people of Kumbi Saleh under the unjust rule of the Persians. Oh, it's because cultural. Well, I mean, that's a terrible one. But nevertheless, more than that, I would like to purchase access to all of your items if I can. Right now, let's get all of these on the go. I would very much like to lift the current mood of my people. I guess on that point, actually thinking about it, we're not going to get these ships upgraded at this point, realistically speaking. No, let's move the Navy out there. They can help in some of the attacks here and there. Fever season. And a natural wave of sickness has broken out in the overcrowded metropolis of Eelstar. The origin of the illness is unknown. Some speculate it could be related to smog and pollution, while others say it could be something more dangerous, or it could just be a spiking flu. In any case, more elderly are filling the city's hospital wards. Do you institute quarantine measures now, or wait for longer? Announce preventative measures will have economic costs, but ensure the safety and be an opportunity for study, science, investing in Eelstar, or wait. Not panicking will give the citizens confidence, but it could... No, we're absolutely going to...
You have reached the end of an ideology axis. Of all the epithets other empires may use for you, wishy-washy won't be one of them.
There are many, many bad things that have come out of the more recent human history. The last 2 years' recent human history, but one of the benefits is that we have learned much about the dangers of just playing the waiting game. Let's quarantine now, and hopefully, it was unnecessary. But if it wasn't, and we didn't, that is a far worse deal, in my opinion. All right, time for us to go to war. No, actually, stop that, and we'll declare war properly. I'm glad you're listening.
No more talk. My armies will speak for me. It is war.
It is.
You think you'll win this war?
Yes.
Fool.
I do, actually. I really think I'm going to win this war. Alright, new grievance available.
Will we end the day friends or foes?
Now, you're allied with my enemy. I would like to demand that you not be allied with my enemy.
This is not a friendly request. You must change your diplomacy.
I'm going to refuse your demands.
Once again,
There we go.
you show how inadequate you are. You have the right, of course, to decide as you wish.
Indeed, I do. Alright, well, we've lost a lot of trade routes there, which does suck, but overall, this is going to be a bigger win for us than not. Let's move in and actually start seeing, because this is one of the last places on the map that we don't have solid intel on. Shockingly. Right, let's try and get in position around their capital city so that we can actually bombard them during this long fight that is about to happen. Okay, they're all the way down here, so I'm going to want to cross in around here. We might end up going to war with Cringer as well. I mean, ideally, I'd rather not to, but we'll see how that goes.
You now have a city of 10 territories.
Hooray!
That tiny first settlement is nothing but a distant memory.
Aerial warfare researched. The advent of flying machines opens up an entirely new arena for battle, requiring a whole suite of new tactics. Indeed it does. Right, let's head aground. I'll move our way around here. Going over there would be terrible because of the cliffs that I can see now. But attacking over there should be fine. As for you, let's get in. And for you as well. I would like my naval fleets to be at least within the area of the conflict before we actually attack. Ideally. That way they can actually participate fully. But we'll see how that goes.
With a 20-territory city, the good old days when a bush full of berries was enough to feed an empire is long gone.
This is also very much out of time. A new wonder can be claimed. Marvelous.
Impressive and dominating, Cristo Redentor removes any confusion about the importance of faith in everyday life.
There we go, another easy 100 fame. Mutinous in Manu? What? Okay. Yeah, that is actually quite bad. Alright. We need some very rapid deployment of items. Why do you want me to exchange this? What is that? That's a train. Why do you keep wanting me to build over train stations, my lord? Place you there. Place another one down here. And another over there. And we will try and push these forward. The issue with the hamlets is that, much like any other district, they're causing instability for our people, which is a problem. They require an awful lot of money to fix. Actually, let's just... no, cancel that one. These ones can be cancelled freely. Go. Let's go ahead and try and position in some commons quarters to help with this. One over here would be nice, but... okay, we'll pop it there, I suppose. And one there as well for 20 stability. Yeah, the sudden loss of all of those trade routes is rather rough. And no mistake. But let's continue trading then.
Your empire is an enigma.
Indeed it is. By design. I would also like all of your ebony. Please and indeed thank you. Now, Cringerman.
If I cannot teach you wisdom, I will teach you regret.
Can I purchase more of your resources? It does appear that we can. Alright, I'm hopeful that Manu will be able to pull itself out of this, but we'll see. Yes, it's now trending up to 61%. Okay, so, whew, that could have been nasty, frankly. That really could have been nasty. And we're going to have put down enough material there that we're probably never going to have to worry about it slipping again. I think we're going to grab the Sydney Opera House at this point. Claim you. And which city are we going to dedicate to making this happen? I think this is going to have to be placed on coastal water. Is there any particular coast? Does it have to be coastal water next to anything particular? Can be built once in the world. Coastal water or lake. Oh no, it can just go over here. Alright, well, I would very much like it down here just to double down on Manu with all of that wonderful, wonderful income and the growing amounts of industry that it's got. So let's pop that in. It's going to take 11 turns, but that's fine for now. Poke Dragon, I would like you to help out. That's 7 turns. Eelstar can definitely move this forward a bit. 5 turns. Excellent. That'll be good enough for me for now. Right. Okay. So, with that, the mutinous in Manu is resolved. Peps's population has increased. Excellent news. Move you in. It's been a long time since we've had a fight. And get you over there as well, please. There we go. Now, with this done, we can probably claim this city in this turn, I'm thinking. We are absolutely dominant, but we are going to assault. We could maintain a siege for a little bit, I suppose. But I think assault is the way forward. They've got just that. They have no units, really? Do they legitimately have no actual units? I'm not sure I trust that, so we're going to go for a manual battle and see how this plays out. I don't for a second trust that one. End deployment. It's fine. Right, okay, let's bring in our ships. You can move up and take them up. Wow, they just destroyed those walls. They're very old era walls, actually. Let's have you move forward. And ideally take them out as well. You only do half damage, sadly. Bring in the next. You will be able to attack from here easily enough. Sure, let's move up. Okay. You can move forward and attack as well. Oh my lord, a dinky little ship. It has been a while, hasn't it? Okay, well, let's move you over here. You won't do much, but you know what? You can try your best. Alright, I'm going to need you to move, sadly. We'll take the high ground just so I can bring more people in. So you engage. You engage. You should be able to engage right now. Apparently not. We need to be right up next to them, it seems. Okay, well, that's annoying, but it is what it is. Let's get around there. You may be able to engage from here. In fact, you can. Perfect. Let's have you move up as well. Before we start bringing this unit in, this way, whoever does come in can move straight into the center. And you can remove them almost entirely, but not quite. That's a bit of a shame. Okay. Well, let's continue moving around.
Stay in formation.
There we go. This first group can just go straight in. And remove you. You cannot do a whole lot because cavalry can't scale walls. We can remove this group. It does look like that was all they had. Sad that I didn't trust them, but oh well. Since that does now mean that we need to play through this battle, even though it's basically a foregone conclusion. But realistically, we already knew it would be. There we go. I think that might be it. There we are. Straight up victory. Perfect. Okay, now we control this area for the time being. Okay, next battle. If they say they only have basic defenders, I am going to trust it this time. Though it's saying that we're evenly matched. Ah, they've got naval reinforcements. Okay. Let's go for a manual battle. And end deployment. We'll see how this goes. We've got a significantly more numerous force, but their ships may actually tip this in their favor. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. I was expecting an easy win over here, but it seems the game has other intentions. The main thing will be to get inside the city, of course. I very much doubt that we have anything really to worry about because their defenders are going to kill themselves on us, but the ships may actually be a bit of a tricky proposition for us to deal with. There we go. They came out in order to attack us. I mean, I admire their resolve, but at the same time, it's ultra dumb.
Check range. Fire.
You can just go straight in because the RPD can scale cliffs, which is honestly such a ridiculously powerful move.
Open fire.
Let's remove
Take aim.
you.
Fire.
Then I would like you to move up and, for the time being, well, actually no, go ahead and engage. You can come into the fight. Let's move in and promptly annihilate the remaining city defenders. And with that, we're going to start work on their ships. It looks like that would have actually been a complete wash for them. It's interesting at how it felt that they had significant enough superiority here to be a threat to me. I am surprised. Right, well, you can attack from afar. Let's move up, see what we can see. We can take some shots. It is moving fire after all, so go for it. You can't quite reach that location, but you could get over here. Let's just move close enough that we can attack you, rather than expose this unit to everyone attacking it.
Elevation. Fire.
Now that, with that, we can retreat a little bit, and we might as well, just to reduce the potential for them to retaliate. Okay, let's see how they go. Now they've got to try and claim our defend flag, but I somehow doubt that they're going to be able to get to that. They are giving it an effort though, bless them. I'm sure these just cogs, yeah. I will confess that at this point it's a little bit difficult for me to properly appreciate the strategic advantage that we have over our enemies in terms of the kinds of units we're able to field.
Ready. Fire.
It is definitely throwing out my ability to properly assess the odds of a battle. Move up. Take you on.
Take aim. Fire.
Our cavalry are probably going to be able to finish you, as is this cavalry unit going to be able to finish you. There we go. So even though that one said it was even odds, this is a complete wash. Military star has been earned. Not too surprising. Victory there, thank you. I should imagine that in the next turn, we're straight up going to win this war.
And make it quick.
Okay.
Given the fact that you have 12 of them, you seem to be sowing crops and reaping stars. A pragmatic strategy.
Thank you very much. Uranium enrichment researched. Whether for nuclear power or nuclear weapons, the natural stuff isn't concentrated enough, and enriched uranium is an essential component. Close to victory in the war? Mutinous? Well, that does not surprise me. Population gain at Poké Dragon? And an osmosis event, really. Okay, minor technological breakthrough. Ideological it gave us 15. Bless. That's quite sweet. Okay. New grievance available.
Yes, greetings. I hope you don't mind if I stare.
I'm not going to press these right now. Not right now. And as for Cringer, we're quite far from the point of having another fight. So, for the time being, we're just going to go ahead and make those purchases, just to keep everything on the move. Alright. We're close to a war victory. War resolution. You know what I want. We've got 260 to play with. We've got 5 that are, or rather 50 that are locked in. Convert to Oak Brethren, break the alliance with the Edo-Japanese. That was going to happen anyway. We didn't really need that one in the end. But a lot of money is coming our way. And I think making them a vassal is pretty much where we're going with this. For surrender.
You are a rare gem, and I appreciate things of value.
I think we have waded through enough blood.
I am glad you see sense. Alright. We now have access to all of your luxuries. Just straight out. There we go. Alright. Now, if we have a look at the cultural situation, they are very rapidly going to switch over. Not that it will really make much difference. We are already basically absorbing everything as it stands. But that was... I mean, I'd like to say it was a bloodless war. It wasn't. It absolutely was a bloody war. It's just none of it was our blood, which is the good part. Now then, we've got a lot of money just sat there waiting. I'm not sure if we're going to end up winning this by forcing everyone into vassalization or securing a technological victory. It's hard to say. Regardless, though, let's have a look at what we're going to be grabbing next. I could go naval transport. It doesn't... Well... Range combat naval unit must have line of sight to attack. Replaces land units which embark. You know what? Sure. We are moving our units across land a reasonable amount. Insurrection theory. We could get better defenders of our cities. Not really strictly required. Scaling up smelting operations drives up aluminium's use across all economic sectors. Well, I mean, we've unlocked aluminium. So, sure, we could improve the use of aluminium if we really wanted to. That being said, though, nuclear power, uranium radioscopes, nuclear doctrine unlocks access to the nuclear weapons civic and the nuclear submarines. Let's actually grab everything moving through here more or less in a straight line. I don't really feel that we need to be gunning down an area that... Actually, I'm gonna step that back. There is one thing that does benefit from that, is the end techs are rather powerful. So I'm going to select a couple that I really, really want. These ones, for example. Worldwide exchange, enormous trading houses where all manner of goods and commodities, minus 50% cost on the base price when buying a resource through trade. Not actually sure that's going to really benefit us too much anymore, but we are going to grab nuclear fission and then all the way down to the fusion reactor. It won't take us long to get there, but it is global messiah fame and fusion power. Increases industry and reduced pollution. Plus 50% industry on city or outpost, minus 50% pollution on territory. That one is going to be really, really good for us to go to. It won't take us long to get there either. At this point, we can just gun down each particular row if we really, really want to. Right then, can we actually embark? No. Can you embark? No. Can you embark? Well, I mean, you'll do it next turn now. All good things must end. The game will end in 30 turns. I am going to be a little bit sad that it's over. I'm going to be honest. Though at this point, there isn't too much that we're doing, really. We're steamrolling enormously at this point. And so, to a certain degree... I'm not sure if that is really a bad thing that it's going to be over with in 30 turns. Definitely, if we ever play another series of this on the channel, it will be maybe not the highest difficulty, but definitely a higher difficulty. That being said, we have completed a game on Steam, on stream as well, and much of the same conclusion came to it. By the end game, we were just snowballing so hard. So maybe pushing it to the highest difficulty wouldn't be a bad idea. Right, well, with you over here, let's go ahead and upgrade our oldest units. You can have an upgrade. And so can you. There we go. These themselves can be further upgraded. to the ironclads. Very nice. That one can be upgraded. Sure, let's take that one to the ironclad as well. We've got a pretty nice navy at this stage. It's just we don't need one. is the situation that we're facing. Alright, let's have a quick look. Political influence, conquered empires, working conditions, material procurement, or fundamental values. This was a very early game civic that we never really took. A joyful life begets a prosperous one. You can't really see how this will change anything, but... oh, this one will pull it down, but it won't actually change it too much. I think we're going to go with reducing commons quarters, because I'm
a bit of flexibility and freedom is more than worth a bit of risk.
I say,
right?
After I just built a bunch of them. I know. I am a silly. Also, we do want a decent amount for the Empire State, but I don't feel that that one is as required as the other cultural wonders that we've already got. Right, you can just hang tight there and wait for further upgrades. Both Manu and Darth Raptor just gained population increases. And there we go. Naval Air Strategy Research. The oceans are vast, unforgiving environments, and new ideas are necessary to bring aerial power into their theatres of war. We can now build aircraft carriers, but we are going to need more oil than we've got, and, well, yeah, more oil and also aluminium. Now, we do have some aluminium on the map. 2 locations for that. Sadly, I feel that we're going to need to take over another area simply to gain access to extra oil. We are really starved for it. That is a pain. It's interesting to see that there's basically no oil over here. None that I can easily spot anyway. No, it looks like they were actually starved for oil. They would have had to have gotten to the other continent in order to get any oil. But we may need to take over this territory in order to develop that oil resource, or just forgo aircraft carriers, which would be a shame, but I don't really want to attack the one vassal who's been behaving. The Great Smog. Towering coal chimneys crowd the skylines of Darth Raptor, striking testaments to the city's industrial power. What is also undeniable, however, is the thick plumes of black smoke belching from the mouths of the same stacks. Often the smog lingers, and together with the abundance of domestic fires and factory furnaces of this age, the citizens find themselves living in an ashen pall for days, coughing and choking. Respiratory illness and even some deaths are being blamed on the smog. How should you respond? Dismiss. These industrial engines bring us prosperity. Even if the smog causes sickness, it is a price worth paying. We'll have overproductive on Darth Raptor for a little while. Or innovate. We should clean up these industries as best we can, pave the way for future advances, and improve farming conditions. So it'll cost us some money. We'll get some science, bountiful on Darth Raptor, or regulate. On windless days, the coal works will close, improving air quality. Industry will suffer, but the citizens will be happy. We'll go with innovate.
Reaching the end of an ideology axis isn't extremist. Think of
We've
it as
been
being
there for
focused,
so
yes.
long. I don't
Very
need you to keep
goal-oriented.
reminding me. I really don't. I actually really like the narrator, but one thing I genuinely dislike is how repetitive the narrator is. Oh my lord. Let's bring our units back, because I've got a funny feeling that we're going to be able to upgrade them before the next war. So let's make that happen, shall we? I am quite tempted to just dip out there and possibly take them on. Ooh, what can this upgrade to? Oh, I'd need the oil. We could upgrade it to a battleship. It looks like we're going to be sticking with mostly the Age of Stale, a little bit the Age of Steam, but yeah, that's actually a bit of a shame. We are not going to be able to fully upgrade here. Not unless something does happen to force my hand a bit. Do we have anything here I want to tap into? No. What I would like, though, is a robotics lab, I'm not going to lie. It would be rather marvellous, wouldn't it? Let's queue this up. Over here would be amazing. 32 science, 44 industry stability, and we'd also be getting a bunch of extra influence. Same over here, 51 industry there. The pollution, of course, is not the greatest, but yeah. Let's focus on the science over the industrial output, though. And then down here as well. Well, that's going to be you taken care of for quite some time. And with each one built, you're going to be faster at building the next. And so on, and so forth, and so on, and so forth. Actually, you definitely need to start grabbing the aluminium that's available. And the uranium as well, please. There we are. Once that's done, let's queue up a bunch of robotics labs. We'll have one in there. The nice thing about not having enough culture to immediately grab the next cultural wonder is that it does give me the room to expand out and start placing these down a bit. Let's go for the science. Well, actually, no. 68 industry is an awful lot of industry for us to turn our nose up at. Get that one down there. Of course, we're going to be doing exactly the same with Manu shortly. And Manu will become absolutely ridiculous once we've got these down. These buildings specifically are just crazy OP. Let's be perfectly honest with ourselves. We're going to want one way over here. We'll still focus on the science, I think. And finally, one down here for... Well, it doesn't really matter where. Get the same output out of either one. That is going to wreck the stability. Well, actually, no, it's not. Interestingly, the stability is going to improve in some places, so... That's not too bad, actually. Okay, civil engineering researched. With the scale of cities becoming immense, this discipline can ensure massive infrastructure projects become achievable.
The curves of this glorious opera house are even more impressive when you consider the fact that the plans were rescued from the trash can.
I wasn't aware of this. That is very interesting. One of the aesthete stars has been earned. Fantastic. We're actually close to science stars. Agrarian stars, very close to that one, actually. Builder stars, again, very close. We are very industrious at this point. Let's see. Now then. Sure, let's go ahead and double down on this. We've got a conspicuously empty spot right in the middle of the city. Look at the amount of industry and science we're going to get from this. This one will lose some of its stability, but that's fine. I am really quite tempted. If we get enough money, I will probably have Eel Star absorbed by Darth Raptor. I feel it would be reasonable move, that one. Okay, then, Manu, time for you to upgrade dramatically. Let's place these down pretty much everywhere I can fit one. Of these two, let's go there. And here. At this point, our industry is just going to become obscene. In no uncertain terms, really. I'll get one over there. There's no point in me even considering the placing them personally, realistically. We won't place one over there. Damn it, that is just such an annoying area. I should have settled it over there, realistically. This is my own fault. How's Darth Raptor doing? Darth Raptor will be done with its training stations very soon. And at that point, I would very much like it if Darth Raptor could start building the robotics labs as well. The fact that we're getting extra influence from placing down emblematic districts is, in and of itself, a little bit broken, honestly. Some of the legacy perks I honestly think that sometimes you might want to go for a culture, even if it isn't going to be the best culture pick for you at that time, or for your playstyle, purely based on the available legacy perks, because that 4 influence per emblematic district is, again, just obscene. We are 5-6, a couple of turns away from claiming these areas. I really would love it if we could claim the entire world culturally before the game ends. That would be absolutely marvellous for us. Right then, hello. I'm afraid you need to be on the move. I'm absolutely going to chase you down. The rest of you can move on your way. Let's get you down there. You absolutely need an upgrade. As do you. Nuclear fission researched. Einstein's most famous equation governs the energy released when matter is transformed into energy, for better or for worse. We can now start... I'm not sure we're going to get there, but we could soon start
for the
to
legend
test
you have created
nuclear
is second
weapons.
to none.
Hooray! I mean, we've been there for a little while, but double hooray. We've got 5 of all of the contemporary era stars, 5 of the 21. That would force the game to end in that regard. Alright, urgent attention required. The Nuclear Spectre. Your scientists have combed the deepest depths of reality, and in their quest for knowledge have discovered weapons of terrifying power. As a society, you must now be clear how they will be deployed. Okay. Nuclear disarmament. The existence of weapons of mass destruction will always diminish humanity. Gain a grievance against empires completing nuclear tests or detonating nuclear bombs, or nuclear proliferation. Pragmatism dictates that a strong nuclear arsenal is the best deterrent, and this would unlock the fission tests. We probably will just go down this route because it's actually a really cool mechanic, and I'd like to demonstrate that, but that is going to pull this so hard. Oof. That may actually cause some issues for my people's food incomes. We'll see how that one goes. But yikes, big yikes. All right. In terms of on the topic of food, rather, let's go ahead and get a little bit more, shall we? Go and some more, please. Besides, let's pop one over there. And there. That'll do you for now. Now, where was that ship? Hello. I guessed right, it seems. Instant resolution. There we go. I won't allow any other ships to exist in these waters, realistically. There's no point in allowing them to move around. It'll just make me more work once we do go to war. Wicked Dragon's population's increased. Well done. We've got a rather large amount of money just sat there waiting. Can't upgrade these, tragically. Can't upgrade any of those units. What about you? Nope, can't upgrade any of you either, so we're just waiting on that one then. Very well. I'm fine with just accruing cash for now until we have a project to spend on. Fusion reactor research. Harnessing the power of stars is no easy feat, but securing this technology will bring unlimited energy and near unlimited renown. There we are, Global Messiah and fusion power. Increased industry and reduced pollution. That was well worth grabbing. Yeah, build a star and science star. Okay, there we go. Only 188 pollution per turn. Now I say only, but you know, it is what it is. We're getting 5 from the Persians. Next level is at 25k. It'll take 85 turns from now, and we've got 25 turns left to go. It is now time for us to start considering where we want to go next. We could go for the neural implant and give ourselves psychic powers. What would be required for this one? If we go down that route, we will need radar, onto rocket science, onto communication satellites, World Wide Web, and then the neural implant. Linking the networked world ever more intimately with the human brain, these devices increase the capacity of humankind to think, dream, and achieve. And at that point, I'll probably swoop through and clear out a lot of the remaining techs in here. I think that would probably be the wise course of action to take. A mournful song. The history of whaling in the seas around the Empire goes back centuries, but the advent of modern fishing techniques now means that the great beasts are hunted in ever-increasing numbers. Whale oil is less used for lighting these days, but the meat and blubber still finds many applications and is considered a delicacy on some shores, especially around Manu and Eelstar. That's very appropriate, around Eelstar. Most find the practice an outrage, though, and call for its prohibition. What is your choice? Ban. Our whaling infrastructure will need to be dismantled and sold, but most will be happy. Destroys improvement whale fishing near Eelstar. Prohibits constructing whale fishing, celebrating on 5 targets for 10 turns. Or regulate. Quotas will ensure healthy stocks of this magnificent animal remain in the seas, while securing the future of Manu and Eelstar. Prohibiting construction of further whale fishing. Prosperous on 4 targets, or overlook. Our culture is steeped in the tradition of whaling and all that is harvested from the catch. We will not relent. Chances of triggering another narrative event, both of these have that. At this point, I feel, especially considering it's not used for any kind of application that is necessary for humanity, the fact that it's simply a delicacy, if for some reason, if this was like Dishonored and whale oil was pretty much our main power source, and without that it would be casting humanity back decades, maybe centuries, and all of the consequences that come along with that, then I'd go for regulation, but we're going to go for a ban. It will hurt to no longer have
ideology
them,
axis?
well,
there's something to be said for unswerving dedication
worth
to a
doing,
cause.
in my opinion. Right, next up, Eelstar. I am very sorry for taking that away, but you know, it is what it is. Minus 30% pollution on maker quarters. Minus 1 pollution on train station. Minus 2 pollution on airport. Yes, let us get a nuclear plant. Up and running. We can't grab these yet. Cannot be done as it does not add anything useful to the city or the outpost. Yeah, at this point it doesn't help. We could add in some train stations, though. On the topic of train stations. Sure, let's get those in there. That'll keep you busy for a little bit. And how are things going now? There we go. Again, we can't do anything because we lack the oil. That really is quite the pain. I'm going to be honest, the lack of oil around here. I really had wished that you would have developed enough to actually gather that oil yourself. But let's actually see. Where are you?
I would not put myself in this position if I feared the consequences.
You're still in the early modern era. I would love it if you would take care of that oil, or if I could build it on your land. Perhaps I should go on for a merchant culture. Because that would have allowed me to invest and thus build buildings on my vassal's land. That would have been a very, very sensible move. Thinking about it, that may well have been a better move, all things told. I mean, in terms of technology, we're still rocketing through, and as much as the addition of the robotics labs is going to speed that up even more, I don't think we actually needed it. All things sold. Right, let's get out here. The next war is likely going to be here.
In this position, if I feared the consequences.
How likely, though? I have no further grievances. Well, the next war will force them into vassalization. There's just no way that they'd be able to get away from that. 2 turns, 3 turns. So in 3 turns, there'll be 1 area left from Let me bring you back
How
up
do you
from
do?
Birdman.
Whoever you are.
It's an outpost, but that'll be the only place that has Birdman's culture as dominant. We'll see how that goes. Eelstar and Manu both got a population gain and attitudes changed by the polls. Okay, acknowledge. Radar researched. The battle theatre of the skies is a fast-moving one, and radar can help keep track of all the pieces. Indeed it can. Mournful Song 2. The whalers decried the loss of their livelihoods, but the Empire's fishing communities rallied around their freshly unemployed brothers and sisters, and few suffered any long-term trauma to their well-being. Along the coastline, the majestic beasts can often be seen now, and if you listen carefully, their songs seem a touch less mournful. The future of the Wells is assured, the seas echoing with their songs. Oh, that's actually quite sweet. Okay, well, you guys can hang tight for now. And you can simply patrol, really. Would it be worthwhile being up... Actually, it would be worthwhile being up here, if I'm perfectly honest, because it would allow us to attack from the top. So yeah, let's get up there. And you can station for now. As can you. We've got no better units to upgrade into, so we're just accruing money and indeed influence right now. And on that note, Agrarian Star, we're also accruing people. Population gain there at Darth Raptor, well done. Rocket science research, ballistics, aerodynamics, chemistry, material science. The space race begins, and increasingly complex calculations require increasingly brilliant minds. We've got a missile silo, we've got cruise missiles, and we've got space stations. Triggers a narrative event, too. Very nice. A new wonder can be claimed. Hooray. Then let us go and claim it. I guess we're going to have the Empire State as well. Plus 20% money generated from ongoing trades on all cities. And plus 20% stability. Well, there's no reason for us not to claim it. Let's go and have a look at Manu. Can we squeeze this in some way? I'm sure we can. Let's go ahead and pop that down. Actually, which cities are dedicated to money first? Eelstar is one of them. I think Pokedragon is one of them as well. Very well. Manu, I would still like it that you... Oh, actually, you know what? While we're here, let's go ahead and upgrade everyone we have and that we can. There we go. And the last one can't be, but that's fine. Right, Empire State, let's get you over in Pokedragon. I would like it next to Pokedragon if I can. Sure, let's pop it right there. I think that'll be awesome. Right, Space Station. It may only be a couple of linked modules, but this will be the first foothold in humankind's exploration of the cosmos. If you upgrade a compatible national project site, you will receive 450 free starting production. Okay. Let's go ahead and place this down. It's got quite a large footprint. Do we want to place it in the new world or in the old world is the question. Where does it need to be placed? On any resource deposit, cannot be placed on ocean or coastal tile, can be built once per empire, once a shared project is placed, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Where do we have available space for it, though? Around there. Okay, so it can't have any kind of resource next to it. Is there nowhere in here that I can do that? Oh, how joyous it would be. How joyous it would be if I could place it. I don't actually think there's anywhere over here that doesn't have enough... that isn't clear of resources enough for me to place it, sadly. Okay. Oh, no, we've got one over here. No, we're not going to place it there at Pokedragon. We're going to place it down here. We're going to have it at Pepster. It's a great honor, Pepster. Let's see. I guess there? Sure. Let's plonk that down as well. Alright. Space Station has been bumped up, but let's focus on Empire State first. Pokedragon, I would like you to help with Empire State. There we are. And Darth Raptor as well, and that should be all that we need. There we go. And with that, I think our armies are now in position, so they can station for the time being.
12 scientist stars. It's always nice
Hooray.
to see fame collected with wits rather than weapons.
You say that. However, I'm not sure that that really applies to us. I think we've been collecting fame equally in either way. We could build a missile silo, but I'm absolutely disinclined towards that goal, really. Let's instead build some more economic districts. Continue to build up our wealth where we can. Ooh, we've got quite a lot of options over here. I approve. Let us absolutely double down on this. There we go. That'll be wonderful. Though with all of that, I feel that we're going to need some commons quarters just to offset the amount of instability that we're going to generate. But that should take Eelstar right to the end of the game at this point, I feel. All right. Population gain, Pepster. Communication satellites researched. The synthesis of many inventions from wireless telegraphy. Is it telegraphy? I imagine so. To orbital mechanics is required to launch a new era of international communications. We can build a tech park, and we can also build the geosynchronous satellite next. The Thin Brew Line. The whalers decried the loss of their livelihoods, but the Empire's fishing communities rallied around the friend. La la la. I feel that perhaps.
If you're going to go for economic domination of the world, the Empire State Building will provide the offices to plan and execute.
See, what happened there, you see, it wasn't a bug in the game. The game was just implying that, well, actually, when we got to space in the space station, we discovered an alien craft, very tubular, singing whale song. It was going to shut down our planet, but the whales were already fine. We didn't need to go back in time in order to rescue the whales, because we had the foresight to save the whales. So we just had a bit of a chat with the whales and then just, parked itself above our planet for a little bit, had a cup of tea, and then just left. It was all very civilized. All thanks to our foresight. The race is on. The Japanese have successfully built the first space station, a giant leap for humankind. Interplanetary expeditions are expensive, but they provide a great deal of fame and glory to those nations able to expand towards the stars. Marvelous. Manu, we can now go for a geosynchronous satellite, a great unmoving eye in the sky, peering unblinkingly at a quarter of the world. Plus 10 influence, plus 10 money, plus 10 science provides vision over 33% of the map's latitudes, centered on the project's capital. Plus 100 fame. Cannot be placed on resource deposits. I think we can build this one on the top of the last, if I'm not mistaken. No, apparently I am. Very much mistaken. Never mind then. Let's go ahead and build this over here. It's got much the same placement rules, I feel, as the last one. Is there anywhere where I can build this over in the old world? Yes, there is. Very well. Let's get that one right there. Perfect. Marvelous. In fact, we've also got Pepster, who could help with that satellite, but it's really, really not necessary. We're fine. Instead, Pepster, I would like you to focus on other things. What other things, you might ask? Well, industry first and foremost. Let's get nuclear up and running. Let's also get a wall just because we can. And then focus mostly on income. There we go. That will do very nicely. But sadly, and as much as I was expecting this to be the last episode, it does in fact look like we've got 20 turns left to go before the end of the game, and at least one more episode to take them in. I really hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, and will be joining me for the next. But until then, and as always, to take care, everyone.